You've come to beg on the door. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore.
Welcome to the Bear Pit Pod. We are back after a week absence. Much needed, I feel this week. I feel like I need a rant.
Yeah, well, we missed it last week post the Tottenham game, and then the Burnley game. In fact, 3 games since we last had a pod, which is odd. And they've all gone swimmingly. Every one of them.
Each game's been
game plan
blinding
executed
success.
Perfection. Yeah, I feel a bit shitty about Stoke. Really shitty.
It's much needed. These
yeah,
days.
it is. Thank you for the Guinness, Al. It really is not good at all, is it, at the moment? This is. I think this is about as low as I felt with us being in the Prem since we've been in the Prem. This is pretty dire, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I've not seen the fan base like this before since we're in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's quite similar to Pulis's last days, but
yeah, let's say the closest I remember feeling like this was when we lost to Villa at home in Pulis's last season, and I thought, shit, we might actually be in a battle here. Luckily, we turned it around quickly, but
it's
not looking good at all. We are shipping goals for fun, and it's not fun.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun. You know, I'm getting to that period now. I don't want to watch. That's a bad period.
Yeah. I kind of know what you mean. I go to a game now knowing that if the opposition scores 1, it's not just a case of we might lose, it's a case of, well, how are we going to lose by? Because our defence is just... There's no desire or passion at the moment, is there?
Not
shite.
The burning question on everyone's lips, since we've not done a couple of pods now, is Craig Hughes out?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I am.
Whoa.
I mean, I think it was, you tweeted it after the Spurs game. It was the Spurs game that did it for me. And I'm quite keen to just put the caveat in there. I'm not one of these, I'm going to boo Hughes left, right, centre. He's got to get out of the club. It's disgrace.
You've got like a burning stake. Like
no,
driving him out of the club.
It's not because
I drove a van round recently, have you?
No, I've not done that. I don't think I will. But it's not that I don't think he should be replaced, but I just always feel uncomfortable demanding a Stoke manager goes. Do you know what I mean? It's not in my nature to slag off the person that leads my football club on the pitch. It really, really isn't. But at the same time, I mean, what more evidence can anyone have anymore? There's not really. Do you know anyone left that still thinks he should?
Do you know what?
Be given a go.
There's only 1 or 2 out of hundreds of comments that we see on the pages. There's hardly any.
It's support
campaigning.
Now,
campaigning for him to stay.
Yeah. But what I will say is, and the biggest reason I wasn't Hughes out several weeks ago is because I didn't have a sensible reasoning for who should come in to replace him. Still not even now. No one's put anything reasonably realistic in place. So it's all right shouting out some random foreign manager's name, but I don't really feel there's a decent candidate on the table that I feel comfortable to come and potentially save us, or at least avoid a relegation scrap.
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto the candidates.
Apart from maybe one man.
Yeah, we'll get onto the candidates and people that could come in.
Yeah.
But let's speak about the game at the weekend first. Obviously,
I mean, we're covering the Burnley one as well, or not?
You can if you want.
I'm
fucking sick of it.
Very briefly, because I know it was a week ago now, but the Burnley game was bizarre. We played all right, without being spectacular, despite what Hughes may assume. I thought we were reasonably solid, but ultimately it didn't make a difference, did it? We didn't look too threatening, but we looked okay.
I know Hughes came out and said about we were on top in most of the stats of the game.
Generally were.
But we didn't come on top in the one that mattered.
Generally were, weren't we? It was almost a worst case scenario, that, because I came away from that game thinking, well, you can't be slagging Hughes off the hills for that result, because I don't think that was necessarily his fault. But at the same time, we've still lost, so he's got to take the burden of blame there. I was a bit confused about how to feel from that. However, the West Ham game did help me.
Yeah, one other thing I didn't have in the agenda to speak about, but since you're going back to Burnley, let's go back to Tottenham as well. The train doors incident.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Joke,
I just
that.
don't like it. What? So this is all the
comments. Yeah, I think it was more than a handful, but get off the train, players at the other end, you're not fit to wear the shirt, and Hughes out ringing round.
Yeah.
Fair enough after the 5-1 performance.
Yeah.
But it was Hughes' comments saying that fans might have been infuriated because they got stuck on the train for a little longer. Not anything to do with the result.
No, I think he was...
Like the man, he's ever more so now than ever, is every word from his press conferences is analysed.
Every straw he can find, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and everyone on Twitter or wherever it may be is analysing those quotes more than ever.
Yeah.
And to just keep going at the fans like this, I've said it before, he shows so much arrogance to the fans, and sometimes such a patriarchy manner he has. just doing himself no favours at all either.
He's not. He's always been quite a blasé, chilled out guy, hasn't he? Really, he's never shown too much emotion in interviews, but it's coming across as a bit sort of dismissive and arrogant now, I feel.
Oh yeah, I think he's been like that for a long time. I mean, another one of his this week was, I don't do relegation. Well, yeah, you quit QPR before they got relegated.
I know. You were there's one place that team was going, mate. You didn't avoid relegation. You got out of there.
But yeah, let's go on to the game from this weekend. And first off, it was quite a contentious decision. It's been debated a lot by the media, and also disciplinary action's been taken since. But Lanzini dived for the penalty. Eric Peters did dive in, but never actually put his foot through the tackle.
I'll say this much: it was a dive, and it wasn't a penalty, but it was clumsy from Eric.
It was
still a comment.
It was still it was daft to dive in.
Gave the referee a decision, something to
make.
Ponder.
Yeah,
I felt.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That was poor from Eric. But I don't want to jump on Eric for the sake of it, because he gets a lot of stick. It was a dive, bottom line, and it's so frustrating because I think somebody tweeted this. So Lanzini's been banned for a game against Newcastle. He was scrapping for the lives,
and another team who was sort of in that area.
Exactly.
So yeah,
it's
if anything, it disadvantages us. It helps us in no way whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like the bollocks that. I mean, I do like the fact they brought in this retrospective banning thing, but
how does it help us?
Brilliant. Cheers.
Should be banned for the next time they play us when the season comes around.
I completely agree.
But yeah, it helps us in no way whatsoever now, and it's gone. But I can sit here and safely say that I don't think we'd have still won the game if they didn't have the penalty. Just the way that the rest of the game went. And usually another thing as well is at the Britannia, or the gambling company that the stadium's named after now that I don't want to say, because we're sponsored by another. That's the only reason why. That sort of decision used to galvanise the ground.
Yeah,
used to make us all, if anything, get more up for it. The players would be more up for it.
Yeah, but like I say, I just think when the penalty was given and ultimately they scored it, the fans know what's coming. There's a resignation that, we're not going to win this now. It's not
just
like
an
we can get back
expectation.
into this and stick it to them. We just know what's happening, and it happened. It happened more than I thought it ever would this season. West Ham were in the bottom three. We lost by 3 goals at home. Yeah, I couldn't have predicted that sort of result. As bad as we've been playing, I thought surely we won't get battered by someone in the bottom three at home.
Wasn't to be.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'm really gutted about
and then,
Stoke. I really am. And he scored, didn't he, the dickhead?
Well, that's what I'll get on to next up. Arnautovic scored.
Inevitable.
It was inevitable.
Inevitable.
It was always coming. He picked up form just at the right time in the game against Chelsea, and then Arsenal had a decent game when it was 0-0.
Yeah.
Picked up at just the right time. He said he would in an interview he did a couple of weeks ago, where he said he just had to get up to full fitness, and we all know what he can do. Even though the big comp bag that he is.
It was ironic though, because he did a typical Arnie display where he did miss some good chances. He
could have had a hat-trick.
Yeah, he did that quite frequently for Stoke. He'd miss several decent chances and then score one. And he did it again, and he was clearly gleeful for it.
He especially riled up the fans, did the hammers sign. There's some reports of he did flick the V's at some of the Stoke fans.
Right.
I can't say I saw that, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
He's a bastard. We'd love him to have been our bastard for a bit longer.
The ironic
thing is,
we knew when Arnie was a Stoke player.
We knew exactly.
I loved it when he did that.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember when we beat Villa 4-1 away, and he gave it big time? Ironically, when we drew West Ham away 1-1, do you remember? He scored in the last minute, and he was goading the West Ham fans. He's a dick. We always knew it, but now we really know it, don't we?
Yeah, and I've said this many a time. I'd never have a go at anyone for, in any walk of life or any job, for going and getting better money elsewhere or whatever.
Just be graceful about it.
There's a manner, yeah.
Of course
there's a manner to go about it, and I think it just solidifies the thought that the thing that we all know, and he's an absolute bellend.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was influential for the rest of the game. He could have had a couple.
Some cracking defending for the third.
Yeah,
nice
the third.
Door open.
Sacco. Wimmer and Shawcross just didn't know what they were doing. They were just split like the Red Sea.
God, I tell you what, I'm so conscious that I don't want to, because I
look like he's giving you a brain tumour or something.
Honestly, I'm so conscious because I'm giving this. I'm on the Bear Pit, TV, and I speak on this, and I don't want to ever be a voice for hate's quite a strong word, but hate towards Stoke players, and even Hughes now. I don't want to kind of go at him or anything, apart from Woolshide, because he was awful. However, Kevin Wimmer, I say it every week, and I think every week, I need to hold my tongue to a point, but what the fuck have we bought here? I'm really... 18 million? 18 million pounds?
A lot of money.
I can't believe that. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say that's Hughes' fault, but is it? Is there a scouting network out there? Is it Cartwright was on this as well?
I think Cartwright needs to go as well.
Unless he improves drastically and quickly, that is, honest to God, I think one of the worst money pound for pound signings I've ever seen at Stoke. So far. I'm not saying he's been an absolute disaster by any means, but 18 million pounds.
He's not been great, has he?
No, he's been very, very average. 18 million. At least in Bulu cost 18 million.
How many times can you say 18 million?
But I just can't believe it. I'm hoping you're going to know it wasn't you. You've misheard that. It was 8.
It was 1.8.
But at least in Bulu showed glimpses of why. I can almost understand why we spent that sort of money on Bulu, because there is a player there, but it's just wrong. Vim, I've not seen a hint to suggest that he cost... I'm not saying it again.
18 million. I'll say it for you.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Please get better, Kevin Wimmer. Quickly.
So, it was pretty awful day out at the races for Stoke City.
Was indeed, yeah.
And the fans. As Arnautovic went off as well, Hughes gave a little parting word to Arnautovic.
Did we get some people lip reading what Hughes
I think it was
saying?
Ungrateful fucker.
Yeah.
The bit that was caught, anyway.
You know, when I saw Hughes do that, because like I said a moment ago, he doesn't often show that much passion, as he thought, I like that. He's showing something. He clearly was hurting a little bit, and I did actually like the fact he was going at someone, because you don't see that too often. Yeah. So that was the best thing Hughes did all day.
Yeah, literally.
Cheers.
Literally was. So yeah, it was a terrible result. David Moyes going from strength to strength.
Of course, he just comes into foot. It's just, for me, a draw was a bad result. A loss by 1 goal was a disastrous result. To get batted 3 is the next level above that. It's worst case scenario times a million. I did not think for a second I didn't think we'd lose, if I'm honest, but I certainly didn't.
I honestly thought we'd lose.
I thought we'd draw.
I've bet on us to lose 4 weeks in a row now. I tell you, it's a profitable system, and it does help.
You're cleaning up,
it does help compound the misery at times when you've got a bit of money in your back pocket. But I'd much rather see us win some fucking games.
What a shocker.
But yeah, we'll get on to the game that's coming, but I just don't see a win this weekend either.
I say it again, I just feel like it'll be a scrappy draw. I really think it's going to be a scrappy draw. We've completely
sacked off best player of the week this week because there was none. I'm not even giving out a man of the match. Worst, Wimmer's up there.
Well, yeah, that's his. He's kind of got that mantle at the moment, hasn't he?
And I think Shaqiri was a bit quiet. Well, I think everyone was quiet. No one.
His 4-4-2 does restrict Shaqiri. As much as I've bigged up 4-4-2, it does restrict him. He's not been.
Berahino came on for a cameo.
At last. Don't even get me on the Berahino thing. Drive me the wall.
Didn't do much.
Driving the wall that well.
Right.
What a bloody horrible, pessimistic, understandable start to the podcast.
I'd struggle. I'd ask anyone to be able to find me any positivity.
That's what people are after, aren't they?
Yeah, basically. They just want to hear someone who sort of compounds the misery, if anything.
Yeah.
Hughes will stay in charge for West Brom the game at the weekend. That was confirmed, I think it was the day after, by the Sentinel. It's also been confirmed now by Coates and the guys, the fellas. Why hasn't he been sacked yet? What are our reasons thinking? Why are they giving him so much time? Why is it another 2 games? Why is it another 2? Why is it another 3 games? What's happening? Why is it that? Why does this keep happening?
I don't know. I think Coates is very loyal, which I do respect that trait in Monday. Certainly the Premier League, I do respect him being loyal. I don't think there's anyone screaming out there that's decent enough to come in. Really, you've thrown a few names out there in the past, other podcasts, but I don't know who is there. It all depends who there is.
Well,
I'd struggle. I'm not exactly bloody a football expert in terms of, the managers up and down throughout the world and stuff, but really, who is there?
Well, there's been
there's
been a story put out there today by a certain news outlet. I don't want to give them the pleasure of saying the name, but that Pulis could be waiting for a third spell.
I think they've just put 2 and 2 together there and come up with
man out of job, man would like, old job.
I tell you what now, I love Pulis. He gets far too much unfair criticism from Stokies now. It's a disgrace for some of the shit he gets, if I'm honest. I think he's an absolute Stoke hero. But him coming back would be such a bad call. If the club's divided now, our gates would drop. That would be a disastrous decision. I appreciate you might be able to keep us up and all that sort of stuff, but that is such a bad call to make.
Well, I tweeted earlier today, I said, quote retweeting, speaking about this story that we're on about, I said, the longer it takes the board to act and the more our position declines, this becomes a better and better option for Premier League's survival, unfortunately.
Don't get me wrong, he would do a job and he would keep us up. But I
think he's too proud to take a contract until the end of the season.
I agree with that. But I also think that we're not quite in the desperate enough position that we need to jump to that resort yet. But I just think it would split the fan base right down the middle. And that's the last thing we need now. You know, the new manager syndrome, they come in, there's a bit of a kick up the arse, bit of momentum. We wouldn't get that with Pulis because the fans would be so split. It would be a poor decision. Maybe in March, April if we're really in the shit, but certainly not now. I think it's a bad call.
So you are a big no on Pulis. What if he did say until the end of the season, just keeps up?
If his apps... Thing is, I know we're down there at the moment.
We're definitely down there.
But it's not like we're cut adrift, are we?
Oh, no,
it's not like we're in the shit and we're all but down. I mean, what are we? 2 points from 12th? Without sounding a bit too happy-go-lucky. So I think, who knows, we get a win and a draw here and now. We are mid-table. We're not... Base point being, we're not in the shit enough that we need to call on Pulis yet.
So yeah, we're 1 point off the drop zone.
But how far off mid-table?
Mid-table? What, so...
12th, 11th, 10th?
6 off 10th.
What about 12th?
We're 2 off 12th.
Right, that's fine. My point being, we're not quite in the shit that we need to call on Pulis yet. I don't think. Maybe if we were, cut adrift in the bottom 3 by 5-6 points, maybe. But we're certainly not that much in the shit quite yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, I look around the bottom and I look at Crystal Palace and look at Everton and look how they changed their managers and look where they are now. Everton back into the top half. They're only a couple of points away from. But
7. Who would you have? This is the point.
This is the point. But this is what I mean.
Can we put a poll out on the Bear Pit Twitter?
Yeah, we can.
Have we done that?
It gets more and more difficult the more and more of a precarious position that we go into, and I'd have loved, say, your Brendan Rodgers or your, some of your young English managers from maybe the league below do one. You've got your Gary Wilder, you've got your Rowett who isn't in a job.
Yeah.
And I don't think Coates will go foreign. I know you mentioned on BT Sport Martin O'Neill.
I'd love Martin. If he's available, I'd be all over that. I think that'd be a fantastic appointment. Bring Roy Keane with him.
Obviously, we've missed out on the Allardyces now because we haven't acted quickly.
Well,
we didn't act in the summer.
I don't think he would have come to us anyway. He turned his nose up at Everton originally, so I think we'd have struggled.
No, they turned their nose up at him.
Did they? I thought he did for them.
No, it was the other way around.
Yeah, was it?
Also, on that note, you were on BT Sport at the weekend. The pundits didn't seem to agree with Hughes out. I think it was very lazy punditry, if I'm being completely honest, especially by Rio Ferdinand, who said, well, I've watched them when they played Man U and Arsenal.
Yeah.
There you go. The two big games where we played okay in the majority of the season.
I just think they're probably, sympathising with a fellow professional.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's 100%. It. 100%. They probably know Hughes to some degree, don't they? They don't want to go slagging him off on national TV.
Exactly that.
Whereas we can a little bit.
And I think it was very lazy punditry. They obviously haven't watched us enough as much as us fans have. But yeah, the candidates are in short supply.
They really are, aren't they? And the weird thing is, they were high in supply.
They
were all over. You couldn't move for him.
Marco Silva. Everyone.
I always rated Hodgson. I really do. I still do now. Allardyce, obviously come back round.
Allardyce. You could have even made a case for your Sean Dyche then.
Yeah, maybe because his stock's through the roof now. Won't come near Stoke.
He would not touch the barge pole now.
I think maybe we could have done.
Pulis is the favourite in the betting market as well, 11 to 10.
God, the tiniest part of me, I'd love to see Pulis' personality back at the club because I did respect. I felt proud that he was leading us into games and whatnot. But as I've said, I think it would just split the club. That would be so weird if Pulis come back.
So the odds are that Pulis is favourite to take the job. Mancini is next, even though he's currently at Zenit St. Petersburg. Then you've got Sean Dyche, Rodgers, Slaviska Jokanovic.
What's that? Dyche and Rodgers are what? Joint third?
Third, then fourth. Then you've got Jokanovic, you've got Thomas Tuchel, who we would not get in a million fucking years, who's just left Dortmund. You've got your Koeman knocking about.
I think Koeman's a reasonable shout. He had a bit of dodgy this time at Everton this year, but I think he's a good manager.
You've got Giggs,
Give it Giggs.
Benitez, McLaren, Gary Monk, Massari, the ex-Watford manager, Roy Keane, Chris Hughton, Gus Poyet.
Where's Martin O'Neill on this bloody list? Is he on there?
He's not Michael. No, Michael O'Neill's before Martin.
How was Roy Keane on there, but not Martin O'Neill?
Weird one, strange one. Tim Sherwood, Zola, Redknapp, Bruce,
This
Bob
is what
Bradley,
I mean.
Kirby
This is what I
Schley.
mean. And this is why I've been so reluctant for several weeks to not say Hughes out, because that list scares me to death. It scares me to death. It really, really does. Sean Dyche and Rodgers are the two that I think, yeah, I'd be up for that. They're not going to come to Stoke. Not in a million years they're going to come to Stoke. So then you go for the list, and there's no
It's
chance.
a dire list.
This is my point. We can't just say Hughes out.
Well, we have now.
Well, sorry, we can say it, Hughes out, there you go. But we can't say it and then not back it up with a candidate. It's easy to say, a lot of people go, well, that's the chairman's decision. Well, you're happy enough to say he's got to go. Who are you going to bring in? And this is why he's sticking with him, because I understand that.
Well, let's get on to the chairman a little bit, because obviously Coates is coming under
a little bit of stick now, isn't
a
it?
little bit of flack. Maybe deserved, possibly deserved. But he came out this week and said, we are obviously concerned. We know we need to win games. Without making excuses, I don't think we've had a lot of luck, which is an excuse straight after
well, it
saying
is an
not
excuse,
making.
but I agree tiny.
But, right, last week, he said, I don't know what all the fuss is about. That's that's quite a polarising change in statements from week to week. Doesn't know what all the fuss is about. Now says he's concerned. Knowing how good pals they are, Coates and Hughes, obviously they've had a relationship for 4 or 5 years now. Last week, after the Burnley defeat, the day after, they went on a Christmas do. Yeah. Piss up, whatever.
You'd like to think that'd be like really awkward, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're a boss and you there, you should be on the cusp of being sacked. You'd think it'd be awkward. That's the last thing you'd be doing if you considered sacking someone.
I know how sort of good pals they seem. Is it getting to this point where it might be, they've just got that good of a relationship, or, I'm worried. I'm really worried that we're scared of change at the club.
I'm scared of change.
On a load of different issues, not just the manager.
But I understand why Coates would be. You just read the reason why I'd be scared to change.
Yeah, but I even go back to the summer or whatever with this.
Yeah. I obviously naturally disagree, because I think Hughes should have remained in the summer. I felt he had enough credit in the bank from his first 3 seasons, and I'm not surprised we didn't make the change in the summer. I don't know. So what's the question? Is Coates? Is he bottling a decision?
Yeah, is he too comfortable?
I don't know. I just keep referring you back to that list, and I'm not surprised he's not jumped yet. I mean, surely to God, if we don't win, if we get less than...
This is a point now. If we lose on Saturday...
I'm with you properly then. He's got to go regardless.
But you're going into the Christmas period. You've got a game 2 days after. You've got the... 3 days after, sorry.
Yeah.
You've got the New Year's Eve game. You've got the New Year's... or a day before New Year's Eve. You've got the New Year's Day game or a day after, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You've got 3 games there in a quick fire period. Over the Christmas period,
Chelsea.
who's he hiring?
Well, no, I don't know. I suppose if there's going to be a cut-off point, it should have been now, because at least you had a week to think about it. But yeah, you're right. I imagine if he's... I imagine he's not going to get rid of him now until maybe January, because what's the point? You just get who takes over, who do you temporarily get in charge? It's worrying. One of them games is Chelsea away. Let's assume we're not going to get any.
It's West Brom first, Huddersfield away, Chelsea away, Newcastle home.
Yeah. There has to be at least 6 points.
And apparently, the Sentinel claim we've got one of the easiest Christmas runs.
Well, we have really, haven't we? But
technically,
Chelsea's very hard.
You put names down on paper. I still don't think any game's easy at the minute.
No, but I mean, technically, we've got to get at least 6 points, at least from their 4 games.
I think it's a big ask. This weekend, I honestly can't see a win.
I mean, why are we scared about West Brom? Where are they? Third from bottom, are they?
Yeah, they've got Pardew and they didn't do bad against Manchester United at the weekend. I just think new manager syndrome. It's happened with David Moyes. Might start picking up a bit of. I just can't see us getting anything at the minute, unfortunately.
I know what you mean, though. You look at any fixture, regardless of where the team is in the league, and you're like, I can't see the points. I can't see the points.
No, I really can't.
Huddersfield away, I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's just going to be a nice, jolly day out, having a few beers.
Chelsea away, I'm not asking for I'm not
Well,
expecting
don't worry about
anything.
that
We
one.
never
Yeah.
do.
Newcastle.
Then Newcastle at home. They're also struggling. Maybe that's where the points come.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
But who knows? Let's say hypothetically, we get 7 points in the next 12.
Fucking hell, that's been optimistic.
But on paper that should be realistic, shouldn't it? But let's say we get 7 points in the next 4 games. We go into the new year 12th, maybe 11th. I don't know roughly.
I still just think it's paper and cracks.
Here's what's going to happen, right? This is what's going to happen. We won't go down this year. We're going to end between 13, 14, 12, something like that.
With Houston still in charge.
With Houston in charge, then it'll go in the summer.
Okay, now.
I think this season will just fizzle out.
I think that's a very positive outlook.
I think that'll happen. It'll go in the summer when there's time to think about
I
it.
wish I had your positivity, Craig. Just can't see it myself.
It's his Guinness.
Let's get on. It is the Guinness. The Guinness talking. Let's take a look at some of the questions for us this week. Ben Rowley says, you get any ex-Stoke player in their prime to come back and chug us out the relegation fight, who do you pick?
Ricky Fuller.
Yeah, and that was the first response by Rory as well.
Love
I think that goes for itself, and some goals there. Jay Cole says, how much of Butland's chances of going to the World Cup as number 1 been ruined by our recent performances?
I did think that.
And Everton's upturn in form.
He's not been that great, Butland. I'm not saying he's been awful by any means, but I think he looks nervous in front of the defence as well. Yeah, maybe a little bit. He's shipping goals left, right and centre, isn't he?
Yeah.
Say him.
Pickford's doing...
Stoke.
Pickford's conceding less.
Yeah.
And Pickford's just distribution's been decent as
Yeah.
well.
But then this is a sign of a good player.
Night.
When they're going to get tough, you can't shy away from it and think, I need to get out of it,
Great that Joe Hart was
get
dropped
stuck
for the
in.
past few games as well.
Yeah,
I think he plays. I think he's going to play tonight though against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup.
Really?
Apparently. Jake Hall also says, is Die Hard a Christmas film? Yes.
It references
Ho ho
Christmas.
ho! I have a gun is one of the lines. So
Yeah. Snowing.
Snowing. It's a Christmas.
It is. They reference Christmas.
I watched it the other night. It's a Christmas film.
It's classic.
Could Coates be biding his time, lining up a viable replacement?
I think that's what's happening deep down. I think he's waiting for someone. I don't know who that is. He's waiting for it to line up, and that's why he's not pulled the trigger yet. And I think that's good chairmanship, if that's a word. Not panicking and waiting for it.
Nathan says, I would like Graham Potter to replace Hughes. What do you guys think? Would you take him if you had the chance?
I think it's dead easy to say that, but what a risk. Solskjaer did something similar in Norway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think it was Solskjaer.
I don't think he ever took him into the realms of the Europa League.
But he got them from the lower divisions of the Norwegian League up to their Premiership and was absolutely shite over it. I'm not saying Graham Potter would do the same, but I'm quite a cautious guy, and I think that's such a big risk.
Yeah,
I would want to make that call.
The stature in clubs is very, very different.
Yeah.
He might be someone who I'd say, if we did get relegated, I might take a risk on him then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Tim Addison says, where is Tony Scholes in all this?
I don't know. Out on holiday? I don't know how to answer that one. He's obviously...
I think he's someone who definitely needs to face some of the blame as well. Yeah, 100%.
I think Cartwright needs to bloody get a bit of a stick as well, to be honest.
All of them.
Waiting for some money.
They're all contributing to the running of the club, and the club's not being run well.
Say one thing though, I can't ever bring myself to slag off Coates in any form. He saved us.
Yeah. Harry Adley says, what players would we keep if we did go down?
Christ, that's a pessimistic question. I think Ryan would stick with us now because he's certainly... peaked,
it might be easier to name who we don't keep.
Yeah,
Butland, Shaq,
Zuma obviously,
Joe Allen.
I think Fletcher'd stay.
Fletcher'd
Charlie
stay.
could find himself
Peters
back
would
in
stay.
the team.
Charlie
I
would
think
stay.
Crouch would stay.
No, I honestly think Crouch could do a job for someone in the Premier League. Say a team that comes up.
I think he respects the club a lot, and I think he'd stay.
You think?
Kevin Wimmer, £80 million Kevin Wimmer in the Championship. I don't know. We've got a reasonable core of a squad. That's too depressing to even ponder that one. We move on. You're not there yet.
Tony Beach says, would you take TP on a 6-month contract that meant we stayed in the Prem next year? I think I'd have to.
So that's basic now. If that was the offer on the table now, you'd take that. I think he'd split the club. I think I'd take it from March if we were desperate, but certainly not now.
Ben Jones jokes, are you ready to watch us in the Championship again? Then he says, non-related football question. Who is your favourite actor or actress of all time and your favourite film that they've been in? Mine's DiCaprio, and it's Inception, I think.
I've only seen that once, so that's the dream one, isn't it?
Yeah. The dream one.
I like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York.
Decent, good choice.
Good in that.
Good
Al
choice.
Pacino's good in it.
Let's have a look at some more. Was Arnie out of order? Well,
Yes.
that's from Ken Toft. Well, yeah, of course he was.
Yes, he was.
He's a bellend. He's an absolute bellend. Alex Hughes, where does Mark Hughes purchase his coats? I'm not too sure.
It's like a Burton coat or something, or a Top Man, something like that.
But tell him to take his coat with him when he leaves.
Is that a gag?
I'm not sure. It might be. Maybe it means Peter coats. I'm not too sure. Maybe that's just gone straight over her head.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at some. There's fucking loads here, but some we've already answered. Kebab, doner kebab or chicken kebab?
Chicken morally should be the one you select, but there's something quite nice about a doner kebab. As much as it is absolute shite and all the rest of it, there's something quite nice.
I'm going to have to oppose you there and go the other way. It's got to be chicken.
Yeah.
Always got to be.
I completely know why you'd say that. Doner kebabs are a disgrace, but...
Owen Bloor, although with Coates it's off the cards, is a foreign manager a step forward for Stoke? Clubs like Watford, Southampton and Leicester all have foreign managers and have progressed. Is that what Stoke need? 100% Owen, I believe.
I'm intrigued to see it. I just don't have the knowledge to kind of suggest anyone. Whether Coates does it, I'm sure he's got consultants who can advise, but I don't know.
Whoever's the Atalanta manager, let's go get him. I know they're doing well. Some good rationale there.
Yeah.
No, but on a serious note, there's plenty of foreign managers. I always wanted Silva before he went to Watford. I think he's doing a good job. They've not been in a great run recently in the past few games, but he was someone I wanted to come in the summer. But yeah, there's plenty of foreign managers out there. I think we limit ourselves by just going British, unfortunately. I think that's what Coates will do if the
I agree.
situation comes around. Best question of the week?
I've forgotten half of them. I like the one about the film, just because it just took my mind off Stoke briefly.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Cheers.
Whoever it was Ben Jones. Thanks for that, Ben Jones.
It diverted our
got us
attention.
to think away from football for a
Misery
minute.
of Stoke.
So yeah,
Oh,
West Brom this weekend.
I keep saying this every time, but we do have to win. I don't know how many times I can say that until it doesn't mean anything anymore, but we do have to win.
It's lost all meaning.
It has, hasn't it?
It's lost all meaning.
Because we keep losing.
Yeah.
We do have to win. I don't think we will. I think we'll draw and it'll be scrappy, horrible 0-0 draw. Yeah, there we go. It'll be a horrible 0-0 draw, which won't do at all.
I've got the horrible feeling that Pardew was going to come and do a number on us and probably do a dance.
He's got a reasonable record against Stoke. I think he did with Newcastle anyway.
I think he's done
I
okay.
seem to recall.
I think he's done okay. But yeah, I honestly can't see anything but a West Brom win. Honestly, I'm that convinced. I watched them at the weekend. I think they didn't play too badly against Man United. I think they'll pick it up for this game because they know how much of a bad position we're in.
Yeah. They can probably smell the kind of desperation around Stoke.
They can smell blood.
Yeah.
They'll smell blood.
Yeah.
And it, like you say, go a goal down early on. I think that's us done.
I'll tell you what, thank God it's not Pulis. He would relish this, wouldn't he?
Oh,
he'd
Hughes, fucking love this.
I would be nervous if it was Pulis still in charge because he would be all over this game. So
he would
that's a blessing he went.
Absolutely love it.
Not let alone Arnie scoring against us. If Pulis was the manager to finally get Hughes sacked, that would be the highlight of his life. Thank God he's gone.
You'd love that. One last thing I did think of because we weren't here to cover it the other week on the podcast. Stephen Ireland new deal.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Right, we'll end it there. So that has been the Bear Pit pod.
I think, just to bend the club a bit, I think there's a rule.
Yeah,
yeah. You have to keep.
You don't have to now.
You don't.
You don't have to now.
Well, I don't know now
because he's back fit.
I don't want to say that, do I?
Yeah, so let's leave it there. That has been the Bear Pit pod. We will be back. When will we be back?
Well,
we won't be back next week.
I'm
It's
back up
Boxing Day.
north now for the
me
the
too.
week.
Oh, I'm back up for.
So I can't do one next week. I will be. Well,
We'll discuss it off air, Craig. You know, you don't need to do it right now.
Yeah.
Doing an outro. Make sure you give us a like on YouTube, SoundCloud, Acast, iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. It is Christmas after all. Give us a present. Give us something. And yeah, we might catch you next week. We'll discuss it off air. But thank you for listening. We'll see you later.
Bye bye.